Hello, this reading is going to be about the unknown and our relationship to uncertainty. Last week in our Sagittarius season reading, we had a question about the void. I'm going to look at it. The energies that support you in trusting the void and sitting in the unknown. And I've been thinking about that question a lot, especially in relationship to trauma-informed manifestation and co-creating a life where we are calling in not just our desires, but like goodness beyond what anything that we've experienced before. And so there's this dynamic that happens in our nervous systems when we are confronted with a situation or an opportunity that is significantly healthier and more positive than anything we've experienced before, which is inevitable on the path of expansion and growth. You are going to continually be coming into contact with better and more supportive and healthier, relationships and circumstances. And when you have experiences of significant trauma, your subconscious patterning and your nervous system feel very comfortable with those kind of experiences because you know what to expect, even though consciously that's not what you're wanting to continue experiencing, right? Because nobody consciously wants to continue finding themselves like being abused or taken advantage of or betrayed. So the dilemma or like the discomfort comes in when you're presented with, for example, healthy intimacy, and you're like consciously, this is clearly everything that I've been wanting or has the potential to be. And somatically, I am terrified because how do I handle somebody loving me and not expecting anything from me? How do I handle just being like cherished for who I am in my existence without performing or, like shrinking myself to be what someone else wants me to be, just as I am, like worthy? That can be incredibly intimidating. And so that is a form of the unknown. And it absolutely benefits you to explore your relationship to that discomfort and find a way to engage with that is supportive for your growth. Because again, of course, we're all wanting things that make us feel better and support us in being able to exist just as we are and like live the truth of our wholeness and our worthiness without performing or like capitulating to someone else who wants to keep us small or wants us to fit in a box. I think all of us want to be just loved and cherished for who we are. And so this reading is we're going to go into some of the like past influences that are coming up for you around this. We're going to engage with the fear that you're holding. And when I say holding in your body, I want to be very clear that this is not like a permanent diagnostic, because anytime we're feeling fear, especially really, really intense fear, it is so supportive to remember that it's literally just coming up because we're releasing it. And the more that we engage with it in a way that treats it like it's a problem to be solved, the longer that dynamic remains in our current reality, rather than just witnessing it as like, oh, this is something I can love myself through as I'm transitioning. That lack of attachment is creates a smoother transition into the essentially ego death, becoming the version of yourself that isn't benefiting from the fear any longer, because of course that's, like we've said, that's what you want, is to become the version of you that can hold and appreciate and feel comfortable with being cherished and adored, and however that looks for you. So this reading is going to, like I said, cover a little bit of like kind of what got you here and what the contributing factors are. And then I'm going to go more in depth into the situation that you're experiencing now and what support is here for you, specifically from your guides and from spirit. So that longer reading is going to be on my Substack. And if you are interested in the Sagittarius season reading, that is also on my Substack. So I would love to have you join my community. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes through. So let's get started with the first question. What comes up in your body when you face uncertainty or the unknown? So what comes up for you somatically? Okay, my little mirror screen is dead, so I'm just going to keep recording and hope that my phone does not die. What comes up for you in your body? I'm getting the opportunity to be comfortable in uncertainty in this reading. I've done readings before where like 10 minutes in, my phone died and I didn't know before I had this little like mirror screen on the back of my phone. So anyways, this was supposed to solve that problem, but it doesn't work if I don't charge it. So what is coming up in your body when you're facing uncertainty or the unknown? Holy shit. The Empress, Queen of Cups, and we have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Also, since my little screen mirroring thing is dead, that means I have no idea what you can see. I don't know if you can see these cards, so I'm just going to do my best. All right, Queen. So you are navigating uncertainty and the unknown, or at least the truth that your body knows is that being with uncertainty and the void is not only a very natural place for you to be in, but your body also is like intrinsically connected to this abundance of resources with the Empress. And then the Queen of Cups, you are, again, your body has this innate ability to be in the flow of any emotions that are coming up for you. And you're doing this in a way that even if you mentally don't feel like you're in this place, the support that your body is giving you through this period of change and volatility, potential volatility, and just not knowing what's coming next is like bringing you to this, like you're very successful in this. Yeah, I mean, you're right off the bat, holy shit, like your body is your greatest ally in this time. Again, even if you are feeling uncomfortable with not knowing what's coming next or just being in this void space, it seems like your body is actually feeling very safe. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of perfect since we're talking about the void as another form of or another symbol for the unknown, that we got the Empress, which is like this fertility, this inherent abundance that exists in nature. And it's also, mother energy. She's often depicted as being pregnant, which is, again, like a very visceral symbol of the void space for us as humans. So your body is remembering that you have access not only to everything that you need, but that the void and the unknown are the portal for miracles to happen for you, or to even not even happen, like just to be revealed, for you to have the perspective of seeing what you're experiencing as a miracle. Yeah, whatever like nervous system or somatic work you've been doing, you have cleared deep templates and imprints of fear and physical discomfort. And your body is like thriving. And there is such a freedom in that too, to be able to acknowledge that no matter how like solid or certain we feel based on, I don't know, external factors, like thinking we know what's going to happen or feeling like we've gotten into a rhythm, those things aren't false, but we also like communion with the present moment means that we literally never know. Like we do not know. There is so much we don't know. We can directly know our lived experience, but everything else is like up in the air. And that, like I said, there's a freedom and a beauty in accepting that and flowing with that rather than trying to cling to predictability. So how have your past experiences patterned you to relate to the unknown? I'm really curious about this because those first 3 cards were so skillful. Again, like whatever you've been doing on your journey, it doesn't sound like you're in a place of like a lot of again, I'm not saying that you're not experiencing discomfort, but like you have an incredibly solid foundation. So how have your past experiences patterned you to relate to the unknown? Okay, we have the 4 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, and the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. So with the 4 of Cups, you have spent time in contemplation of, you've spent time in a place of being dissatisfied with your reality and like building an awareness around these 3 cups here at the bottom. Again, I have no clue if you can see this, hopefully. So building this awareness around things that you use to take yourself out of the present moment or distract yourself from being in your body and being like fully present and conscious. And what led you to this contemplation was this sense of like apathy and boredom and just like there has to be something more here. And this is such a like valuable step along that path, right? Instead of like we're not really able to leap from dissatisfaction straight into like acceptance and celebration of how things currently are without having this time period of like really assessing the like coping mechanisms that we've used, the things that we have engaged with to keep us from being more like taking full responsibility for the experience that we're having of life. So you've really done some work here in sitting with your discomfort. And you also, with the 10 of Pentacles, you have built this relationship with this feels like it's really calling back to our first question about your body. Like you have built this legacy through your relationship with your physical container, your physical experience, where you are very solid in like the experience of your physicality, like you are staying connected to your breath, to your body, to like your physical sensations, the totality of your awareness. And like that's a form of safety. Like that is an incredible resource that you've built for yourself. And this could have to do with too, I mean, it's definitely bringing up like your own ancestral lineage as well. So whether these are gifts that were passed down to you that you've unlocked, maybe whether or not this was your conscious experience with your family of origin, maybe you were given those, like the privilege of some of those gifts from your actual family. And maybe this was also, it could be both and not either or. This could be really hard one, like work that you've done to heal your ancestral trauma to get back to this place that is the default underneath all of our conditioning of just being so like solidly resourced, not because of external validation, but by virtue of literally just being in a physical body and feeling the, like being present with that. And so again, you're able to relate to the unknown from this place of abundance and security. And then the high priestess, I mean, this is again like I went into this reading expecting, I don't know what I expected, but you have knocked it out of the park. Like whatever the fuck you've been doing, whatever you are doing now, like the place that you're at is like, I almost feel like you don't even need, like this reading is just going to be a confirmation for you that none of this is going to be like news to you. You're just going to be like, yeah, I know, I'm the shit. Like I've got this. Because I mean, the high priest is literally in this position of duality, like so comfortable in between these two seeming opposites, like these two pillars here, literally sitting in front of the veil of the unknown, of the mysteries. So you've had this, your past experiences have given you practice kind of being in between realms here. And yeah, like coming into contact with the deeper mysteries of life. And you've come to this just through like you've just been existing, you've just been living. Like life has, your soul path has brought you this experience. It hasn't, like there's this balance here of practicality and lived experience, with like a deeper study or a deeper investigation. So maybe you've also, this is something that you've been really passionate about. And so because of the experiences that you've had, maybe trauma or abuse, or just experiences of pain and discomfort, they have pushed you to seek deeper answers. You haven't just been complacent with what you were given. So, what are you afraid will happen if you lose control? I'm so curious to see what we get for this, because like, I don't know, man, you're pretty golden. Like you're solid. But we'll see. What are you afraid will happen if you lose control? Like you might not be afraid at all. And even, like I keep saying, even if you're hearing this and you're like, I don't know, man, I am like, I do definitely feel that fear. Like what's coming through for you is that you are able to experience, because I don't think fear ever really goes away. Maybe somebody out there has an experience that can correct me, but I think, like, at least I know discomfort is a part of growth. Like, that's just baked into the experience. And my thought is that fear is like that as well, because it gives us an edge to work with, and like that's how we grow. So it feels like you have put a lot of effort into developing this skill of working with your fear as, like I was saying earlier, just like an observation, rather than treating it like a fact or like something, that needs to be solved. I had something fall on the floor. Okay, so what are you afraid will happen if you lose control? We have the Wheel of Fortune and then the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I mean, if anything, like, you're afraid that this is, kind of how I started out framing the reading. Like, there's like a fear around all of the things coming in that you've been asking for, that like you have been practicing knowing are here with you right now, rather than looking at the things you want as like, oh, someday this will happen. Like, you've been devoted to embodying yourself as being one with anything you can imagine, but especially the things that light your soul up. And like, so with the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands, like, I think the only thing you're afraid of is like, if you fully let go of control, this shit is going to be rushing the fuck in. Like, maybe you're a little bit afraid that you'll be overwhelmed because it's going to be like coming in so quickly, and like it's going to be a lot of excitement and passion, and like, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a fear of overwhelm here. And rather than finishing this thought, I'm going to leave these two cards out and see. My next question is, what is an alternative belief you can work with? So again, like, I have a thought about this, but we'll see what cards come out, and then if it's still relevant, I'll continue this. So what belief can you work with when you feel this apprehension about knowing that like all of this good shit is coming for you? Like, yes, it's here with you now, but like, there's a point at which the physical reality starts to catch up, and you start to be like, holy shit, it's real. Like, I've been doing this and it's working, and like things are actually changing. And there can be, a fear of like, can I handle this? Like, am I going to be destabilized? Another card fell on the floor. So what is an alternative belief you can work with? And really not even alternative, just like what energy can balance this out for you. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Six of Pentacles, which is really beautiful energy for like balancing the feeling that the wheel is like it's spinning, things are happening, and the Knight of Wands, like fire rushing in. So how you can balance this out is you can trust your boundaries, and you can trust like how grounded you are, and how balanced you are. So the Four of Pentacles in this context, like you can see, hope you can see, this person is like gripping these pentacles really tightly, and the pentacles are like, very physical, but not just like money, but also our physical energy. So this is like a reminder that you have, like, you are already protected by virtue of who you are, who you've become through this process. You have these really healthy boundaries in place. And this is not the energy, sometimes this card can be, but in this context, it's not the energy of like blocking yourself off. This is just like, you've learned how far to extend yourself. And you have curated these energetic practices that have built up your energy body and your way of being in the world in such a way that like you are so stable here. You are so fucking stable. And again, like with the Chariot, like double confirmation that you are the, like, how do I say this? Like the hinge point. You are the 0 point that is keeping all of this, holding all of this steady. And the Chariot specifically is about like how we move through the outer physical world. Like, you know, I mean, there is no inner and there is no outer, but in the sense of like healthy ego development, this is like willpower and stability in yourself, and like holding these opposing forces in balance just by virtue of your own like willpower, but also skill. Again, like what you have put into yourself, the journey that you've been on at this point, up until this point. All of this is moving forward and held together because of you. And then we have the Six of Pentacles as well. So this is like very equal give and take. So related to being afraid that all of this stuff is going to rush in and destabilize you. No, this is, you're just getting back what you've put out. You don't have to be scared about how fast things are coming in and the changes that are happening and like finally seeing, you know, the fruits of your labors, for lack of a better term, because this is just outward confirmation of what's already happened inside of you. It's equal give and take. There's not a need for you to try to like, when you see good things starting to come in, if you have the fear come up of like, oh, do I really deserve this? Like, have I done enough? Do I need to like prove to the universe that I can handle this, or like that I'm good enough for this? That sense of like that old wound flaring up of like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, like leaning too much into perfection. Yeah, you don't need to. If that comes up, you can notice it and know that it's like bullshit, that it's just something to let be and let move on. Because this is, yeah, this is returns on all of the work that you've done. Wow. Okay, so what opportunity is here for you right now that your fear doesn't want you to see? I mean, even your fear is like essentially very positive. Nothing about this reading is like, if I had to distill this reading into like one phrase, like you cannot get it wrong. You are on the right path. You can just sit back and enjoy. What opportunity is here for you right now that you might not, that's like underneath your fear? As you are kind of going through the dregs, I went on the floor, of the last bits of, you know, like resistance or discomfort, feeling that you're not going to be able to handle all of the goodness. What opportunity is here for you underneath that? Ooh. Okay, we have the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. The opportunity that's here for you that your fear is covering up is seeing yourself as this authority, as the spiritual authority of your life. Yeah, and the fear is just, like I said, the old remnants of, you know, I'll be destabilized if too much good comes in too quickly. And this is reminding you of your authority. Like, you are the one that crafted this journey for yourself. You are the one that got yourself to this point, and you can accept responsibility for what a good fucking job you've done. Yeah. I think maybe the fear too is kind of covering up for like what if others see you as this authority as well? And we also have the Queen of Swords. So this is like, again, relating to your journey and everything that you have done for yourself. This incredible embodiment of discernment, of trusting yourself and being able to trust the power that your mind holds. So I always mention this when I talk about the Queen of Swords. She's got this little like tassel on her arm. This is where she's cut herself free from the bondage on the Eight of Swords card, which is about like you're not really trapped, but your beliefs and perceptions make you feel like you are. And the Queen of Swords has gone through that and embodied that wisdom and that knowledge and learned from it. And it's brought her this incredible discernment. And I think the fear is, the fear just is covering up for how deep your authority runs now, and how, what is the word? Like, inherent is not the right word, but it's what's coming up. Like how inherent this authority is to you, this authority and this discernment. And I think discernment and authority go hand in hand. Healthy authority, especially in a spiritual context. You are killing it. Like I said, I mean, this is just going to be like, there's no way that you didn't know all of this. I hope this is a beautiful confirmation for you. On my Substack, we're going to go deeper into what you're learning during this period. Like what kind of restructuring is happening for you to be able to hold and like luxuriate in this love. So kind of like what's next for you beyond this deep purging of fear around being in this kind of unknown, uncertain space. And what support is here for you from Spirit, what messages Spirit has for you. So I'd love to see you there if you're interested in a little bit more depth around this. But I love you so much. You're doing incredible. And I'm excited to see where you go from here. Talk soon.